It's all in your diary, things that you've said. I've read them all, they've all been read. So praying to Jesus has not saved your life. Looks like you've lied to yourself and your wife. I must give you credit where credit is due. You were successful in fooling me too. What is the reason it's here at my door? This is your diary, and what is it for? I have got your diary. The words inside don't lie to me. I have gone so much too far with you and you and you and you. It's all in your diary, the things that you've said. It's all in your diary, the words that I've read. It's all in your diary, the things that you've done. It's all in your diary.
That was All in Your Diary by Robbie Tucker, and he's an inspiration in his cause and determination to fight and raise awareness for Parkinson's disease. Hi, DJ Tina here, host of HMTV Canada Easing. With me today is Robbie Tucker. Hi Robbie, welcome to HMTV Canada Easing.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Having listened to your music, I was really impressed on the originality and lyrical content of the songs. And when I learned some of the songs were written in your childhood, I found that very impressive. What motivates or inspires you to come up with these awesome lyrics and wisdom about life struggles, relationships? Are the experiences you have gone through in life?
It's hard to say, really. I'm sure that they are the experience I've been through in life. A lot of the time they just get classified or categorized in my brain, and I'll just pull it out without really being aware that I am and use it in a song. I know oftentimes I'll write a song based around something that happened, like Letters from My Mom is about my mom, and Wooden Box is about my family in general, but there's things like La-di-da-da-da-da, which isn't about anything, and I don't know, it's different each and every time. So I can't really say if, I don't have a set way to write songs, I guess.
Can you tell us about your albums, Green Room songs from Apartment 12, the Leaden Street Sessions, the journey these albums have taken from the recording, the mixing, the mastering process, and any challenges in producing these albums?
Sure. I was, starting to have a few songs, and by a few I mean like maybe 10 or 15, and that was around 2001, 2002. And I wanted to record an album, but wasn't really sure how to go about it. Wasn't really sure, since I hadn't recorded anything, that if my stuff was even any good. So I was in Winnipeg. I found myself in Winnipeg, and I bought the McCartney DVD, Wings. It was some anniversary special. They were celebrating the 25 years of Wings. And I read on the inner notes that McCartney had, for the first album that he did outside of the Beatles, which includes things like Maybe I'm Amazed, he did it at home. He just took a 4-track recorder, plugged the instruments in directly, and did it that way. And I thought, well, geez, that was, 30 years ago. Surely I should be able to do something with the technology that we have these days. So when I got back home to Miramichi, my dad and I compiled some equipment. We bought a Fostex VF80 digital recorder and a bass guitar and a drum set, and because I've, for the most part, been pretty musical, I've been able to pick things up easily, and not that I'm saying I'm a drummer or I'm a bass player, but I can get by in a recording studio. And I am of the type of mind that I think that everything that you put into a song is of equal importance. Kind of like if you listen to Freddie Mercury's or Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, if you take out the solo that's in that song, the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, if you take that out of the song and put something else in, well, it changes the whole song in its entirety. So I just wanted to have complete control over recording. So when I did the Leaden Street Sessions, I knew nothing about recording, set up microphones. I had, a cheap microphone that I had bought at Radio Shack years ago. But, and that was the beginning, and people got to hear things, and, oh, that's good, or some reviews were written about it, and some comparisons to Rufus Wainwright, and so So then I did songs from Apartment 12 3 years later. The difference is, and even in recording the Leaden Street sessions, my voice was starting to go. Didn't really have much of range, but I could still sing fairly decent. But over the next 3 years, my voice would deteriorate incredibly, up to the point where I remember I was booked on the Toronto show, and I went to the rehearsal, and they said, you go on this show, and you're going to do yourself more damage than it does yourself good. We can't let you do it. You don't sound good. So that was kind of tough to hear. And so then I moved to Halifax, and then I moved to Montreal, where I continued to feel worse and worse and worse. And so I kind of got really depressed, and the only thing that really cheers me up when I'm depressed is making music or writing songs or singing. So I started songs from Apartment 12, and in between recording that, about 8 months after I had moved to Montreal, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. So I at least then had a reason for things going down the tubes, which was good. The bonus to finding out that I had Parkinson's was the medication that I got that worked very well in the beginning, that gave me back my functionality, my mobility, and my voice started to come back. My playing was back and better than it was off medication. Because before that, I remember the last time I performed, it was at Brutopia here in Montreal, and I had to sit down, and it was just a terrible performance. And I had a recording of it, but I deleted it because it was difficult to watch. So then I finished that album, Songs from Apartment 12, and I continued to make music. And so that's 2006. I had a little release party in 2006, and the next year, as things started to get a little bit weird for me, medication went up, and I started doing Green Room. And the good thing with Green Room is it's my first attempt at working with VST instruments. I've always been a huge fan of Elvis Presley, 70s Elvis most specifically, with the horns, his big entrance, just the arrangements of It's Now or Never, and the power of his voice. I've always been really amazed with that whole thing. So this was going to be my chance to do what I had always wanted to do, something very 70s Presley related. And things like Poor Fella are kind of a direct, I kind of think that I took that directly from maybe C.C. Ryder or something like that. It's a great intro, the horn part. And things like The Carnival, and it was just a separation or an expansion of the things that I had done before. And I really liked working with VST instruments, and after that, it just made me want to work with real horn players and real musicians, though. It's been an interesting evolution so far. Wow, that was a super long answer to your question.
It was, yes, it was. These song tracks from your Green album, Poor Fella, It's In Your Diary, and I'm Sorry appeared on Hollywood Records. Is this an award? No, Hollywood Records is an actual record company, and I had submitted them through Taxi, and Taxi is it's the leading A&R representatives, and it's something that's interesting. It's about $350 a year or something around that price. And what it is you send in your music to them, and they have people sitting around listening to music, and that's basically what they do, professionals, and they can critique your songs and decide, well, if you had I submitted Poor Fella and I'm Sorry and It's All in Your Diary for some listing that maybe said, I'm looking for something in the vein of Roy Orbison that sounds like they have very specific listings. So you just submit your music to whatever you think your music would fit, a listing that your music would fit, and it went through. All three of the tunes went through, but it wasn't an award, no. The catchy ballad Birthday Girl that you wrote for Erwin Lang's film, will this song be appearing on any compilation CD once the film is released? Actually, that song is called The Sexy Frenchman Goes for a Walk, and it's in Erwin Lang's film The Birthday Girl. Awesome. And I'm not sure, I don't believe that she's going to be having a compilation album from that film, though I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But that's an interesting track. It didn't take very long. It took about a half an hour to record, and I really liked that because it was somebody else's idea. Without Aaron or the movie, I wouldn't have composed that song. There's no words to it. She just said, I need something that you would hear at a kid's birthday party, fun, upbeat, no lyrics. So that's what I had come up with. So that was interesting. But yeah, it's called The Sexy Frenchman Goes for a Walk. Well, While producing music, you suffered Parkinson's disease. From your experience, can you explain how your illness taught you a lot about who you are and how you overcame the obstacles that the disease took away from you?
Well, it's not really a complete cycle. It's not really finished. It's not something that I could say is over, really. Parkinson's disease does teach me a lot about everything. So far it's taught me the importance of being educated and to know about what you're taking for medication, what the medication can do to you, because you can go through some serious troubles, let's just say. But Parkinson's disease has definitely taught me to grow up a little bit more, and that, if you have something in life that you love to do, like I love to make music and record and sing, then you really should put all your efforts behind doing that. And that's what it's taught me, like, to get a second chance to do what I love to do, but also to get that second chance knowing what it feels like to lose it completely and not be able to do it. That's kind of a gift, really.
2007 marked a special year for you, especially when you formed the Dangerous Crayons. Can you tell us about this current lineup and how the members evolved and how everyone met each other?
Sure. The Dangerous Crayons started off with a young gentleman. His name is Jerome Labonte, and we met on a popular classifieds website here in Montreal, Craigslist. I'm sure there's one in every city in the world. And I was just looking for somebody to help me perform at my release party for Green Room, because I hadn't performed in a while, and I thought, well, if I am kind of sucky, then I'll have somebody to cover up my sucky. And so he and another friend, Darcy Gray, played the drums, a little stand-up snare. And from that, we just kept playing because we had a lot of fun. You can watch a video on YouTube if you just YouTube Robbie Tucker, Isabelle Lacombe, or documentary Green Room or something like that. It was an interesting evening. I did a lot of tunes. It was a lot of fun. It was full house. But after that, Jerome and I continued to make music. But also after that, I went on a different medication and kind of went south, if you know what I'm saying, for a little while. Because the medication can sometimes, depending on the amount, depending on the type, can remove you from reality sometimes. And so, I mean, going through that, it has been a little bit tough because, I've never taken medication in my life. I've tried to stay away from Tylenol. I've never taken any heavy drugs, not really a drinker or a smoker. But yeah, after I met Jerome, he continued to work with me. Though I had a difficult time, he stayed by my side and he continued to help. And he started actually arranging and scoring the charts. We eventually had a brass section jump aboard. And so that was, since we didn't have any brass charts, it was really difficult to have those people. So Jerome's like, I've never done it before, but how hard can it be? So he started doing that for things like Poor Fella, Eye Candy, things from Green Room. And then we started rehearsing. And after that, Jerome got his roommate, Guillaume Turcotte, who plays the keys in a remarkable fashion. He is one of the more amazing musicians that I've met in my lifetime. He's always playing something when I go over to their house, the piano, the accordion, the flute. I think he can play everything, actually. And after that, it was basically Jerome, because Jerome also got Francois Leclerc, who plays the bass guitar, his friend from Quebec City. They were in a band there together called the Rictus. So that was 4. Then we started, I guess the rest of them came from Craigslist. There's Felix Delcerdici. He plays trombone. He's 18. And he's very, very passionate about music, and it's really, when we play together, it's a little bit of a bonus for me to see these guys who, you look around and you're like, well, everybody here loves music just as much as I do, and you're there for the performance, but you're there for the music as well. So we went through a few horn players and sax players, but we eventually now we have Alex Gutjar. He plays the trumpet, and Isabelle Choquette, she plays the saxophone. And Paul Scriver has played the saxophone as well on a couple of occasions, but we don't really have a set fourth brass. And everybody, you can feel it when somebody gets into the band that just doesn't fit. We've had a couple of rehearsals with people, and we're like, this person's not really fitting or working. But I think that what we have now works very, very well. And when you look around and you're playing, especially for me, it's an absolute gift to have that, to look around and have all these people, 8 other people playing my music that I wrote years ago, and to have people arranging and playing just because they like it, they think it's fun. And so the band is really great, and it's basically what I'm working on these days.
Your strong determination to fight Parkinson's inspired you to create MAP Music, Musicians Against Parkinson's, in 2008. Can you tell us a little bit about this organization?
Sure. MAP Music, Musicians Against Parkinson's, was first started off as a couple of different things. I believe first it was These Are My New Shoes, and then pdmoves.org. Then I was just going through basically some name changes and ideas, and it was basically just me that was starting this on my own. And the initial reason, I'm not really sure. I think I just basically wanted to do more to help people with Parkinson's. I had worked together with the Parkinson's Society of Canada. We had done some stories together. They did some PSAs. I believe it was last year they released a new PSA and some new radio ads. But I just wanted to play a bigger role on my end. So I started that because I think that it has the ability to gain the attention of a different bracket of individuals than the Parkinson's Society can. And if I can direct those people, or if I can gain the attention of those people and then direct them to the Parkinson's Society or Michael J. Fox, or, just basically get them interested. Because for me, when I hear raise awareness and educate, I don't really know what it means or what the result of the raising of awareness and the education does. It's still basically in the beginning stages. I work with a couple of other individuals who are passionate about the field of Parkinson's disease, have personal attachment to it. But, when you start something like that I think it gets quite a bit of media attention in the music world. Sometimes you have to, when you get a certain distance away from the start, you have to rethink and go, okay, this is getting really serious now. What is it that we want to do, and what should we be doing, and how can we be the most helpful? So it's basically like anything. It's an evolution, and it is. I compare everything pretty much to a song. It's like a song that I'm working on, but that isn't finished yet. And once I finish it, it'll be great to have people to be able to go to the website and read exactly what we're doing. And that's basically what I'd like to have, is when people go online or read about us, that when they're done, they know what we're doing, they know what we're about, and they know why we're there.
Musicians Against Parkinson's has been on a lot of media for exposure, like Canadian Music Week, Hot Smoke Pictures, to name a few. Can you mention these?
Canadian Musician Magazine has done a couple of stories. The first one was basically the starting of the organization. The last issue, I believe it was the last issue, but I know that they did feature the DVD that Hot Smoke Pictures put together. This was on February 22nd of last year. Hot Smoke Pictures filmed, produced the DVD, the first MAP Music Awareness Concert. And they are also the film production company that is filming the documentary Musically Medicated about me living with Parkinson's disease and being a musician and all of the things that happen in between. It's great to have the support of other people, individuals, organizations, just people who basically go, oh, this is a nice idea, let's try and help these people. And it's very interesting and satisfying for me to see that people out there really care. So that's nice. And I believe that the documentary, which they're filming as well, Hot Smoke Pictures, I think that it's going to be something that it's of great interest to many people to see an individual go through some difficult situations and see how that plays out for him. Because that is something that doesn't just happen to me. It's something that happens to a lot of people with Parkinson's disease. So they are still filming. They're looking for funding, and any help that they can get is much appreciated. And you can check them out at www.hotsmokedpictures.com.
With MAP Music in place, Robbie Tucker and the Dangerous Crayons continue to play live shows everywhere. Was this tour a result of promoting Musicians Against Parkinson's?
Well, we didn't really... we played shows, but it wasn't really a tour. Like, we stayed in Montreal, and we played with the band, we played about maybe 10 shows or something like that. We did a couple that were Musicians Against Parkinson's, and the rest were just me playing with the band. It wasn't a tour, but that's basically what I would like it to evolve into. Like they have Farm Aid, things like that, where they're raising money through music and awareness about, in Farm Aid's case, it's about farmers and raising money for them to keep them independent farmers going. But also, if you look at that, or if you look at somebody like Paul McCartney in Quebec City, or the audience that these artists have, if there was a mention of Parkinson's disease, or if it was about Parkinson's disease, imagine the attention and how good that would be for the disease. To give you an example, as far as I know, in 1981 they did a PSA for Parkinson's disease, and the only one that's been done since then was a couple of years ago. That's something that I wanted to do as well, was start doing PSAs and just putting Parkinson's disease in the media, because I think it's losing out. Not that it's a battle between diseases, but I would, basically it's my own personal thing, because I want to get rid of the disease. I'd like it to find a cure. So I'm just basically trying to do things that will positively help me in that fight.
What's your focus for 2009, such as career goals, plans you'll be making? Are you going to be coming out with a new album?
Yeah, we're actually going over some grant material at the moment, and we are going to start arranging and hopefully recording a fourth album. Yeah, that's really exciting. So yeah, for sure.
Before we wrap up our interview, do you have any shout-outs to friends or fans?
I like to thank all the individuals who support and visit the website, and just people who basically enjoy music. And I don't know that, well, I don't even know who I'm speaking to really, but the people who buy my music off of CD Baby or iTunes or any sort of digital distributor, it's very much appreciated. And what you can do to help me would be basically just, enjoy the music, because I didn't make it to make money. That's never my goal in being a musician. I just make music that makes me happy, and if it makes somebody else happy, well, then that's a double bonus for me. That's basically all. You can check my music out on the new official website, www.robbietucker.com, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you for allowing our e-zine to interview Robbie Tucker and the Dangerous Crayons. I have a shout out to John Asher. Thank you for introducing our e-zine to Robbie Tucker and this great band. You rock.
Cool. All right, thank you very much.